Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama.
Sa labas ng kwenta, ibibida
The voice of the Blue Eagle, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Katipunan, tawag ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugat mo
Todo sa kayo, tulo at tulo.
di pa nga lumigil, hindi na bigil.
You and why don't be fly? Radyo, radyo, the voice of the Eagle, the voice of the Eagle.
Katipunan.
Coming up next, SKL. Share ko lang, mga kwentong Serbisyong Kusang Loob on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog, lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Mare, alam mo na ba ang latest? Ano yan, Mare?
Ops, tama na ang chismis. Good news naman. Makinig sa mga kwentong legit at may antig. Mga makabuluhang storya ng paglilingkod. Mga kwentong Serbisyong Kusang Loob. SKL.
Share ko lang.
Kasama ang Jesuit Volunteers Philippines at ng Radyo Katipunan. Ma-inspire sa mga kwento ng paglilingkod ng Kusang Loob.
Share ko lang.
I-share mo na yan.
Alright. Magandang hapon, everybody! All our listeners right now, mga drivers, mga bumibili dyan ng mga fishball right here at the heart of Katipunan Avenue. You're tuned in to SKL. Share ko lang, mga kwento ng Serbisyong Kusang Loob with the Jesuit Volunteers Philippines or JVP. Dito sa SKL, we tell stories that inspire, spark change, and move hearts into action.
And parang Netflix lang, no? JVP's SKL is already on its second season. And this is episode 8. So thank you sa mga sumusuporta and you for joining us on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, on Facebook, and on YouTube Live. Don't forget to leave your comment and shout-outs. We are eager to hear from you, JV Kaman, or soon to be JVP, or yung mga JVP 1-2Bs, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, sa mga listeners na JVP2V or JVP na right now, allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Rafa from Batch 44. Batch 44. Nako. I was assigned to the Naga City People's Council doing community extension work for farmers, fisher folk, street children, and the youth. And now, here I have with me today is Jomar. Introduce yourself.
I'm Jomar from Naga naman. So, I'm batch
Saan ako
45. So, my area of assignment was in Mindanao. I was assigned in Zamboanga, Sibugay as the Ecology Desk Officer for the Social Action Ministry of the Diocese of Ipil. And my responsibility in the area was really to propagate about environmental advocacy and introduction of basic environmental laws for small communities. And then, sana ba tayo? Tapos
Yeah.
na tayo sa introduction.
You wanna read us the theme?
Yeah, of course. Ako naman. So, mula noon hanggang ngayon, ang kwento ng pagbabalik. So, some mission may end, but the spirit of service does not. So, nearly 30 years later, our guest for today, Nainay Ventura Montilla's memories naman remain vivid and joyful. Her mission year didn't just shape a season of her life, it shaped her heart. As Nanay said, and this is very, very popular sa atin sa JVP, no? The contract is for a year, but the commitment is forever. And that's why she continues to stay active in JVP even today.
Yeah. Mula noon hanggang ngayon, ang kwento ng pagbabalik. Welcome back, no? So, before we introduce our guest today, and what a beautiful guest we have today, no? With a beautiful story to tell for later.
Beautiful background.
Beautiful background, too. Allow us to start with a short prayer, obviously. As this is JVP, we would like to thank God for the grace of this very interview we have for today. Now, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen. Loving and faithful God, we are grateful for this moment, for the gift of coming together, for the courage to share, and for the hearts willing to listen. As stories unfold today, may they carry tenderness, truth, and a kind of hope that awakens compassion within us. Let every word be spoken, rooted in integrity and grace. May this gathering become a small but steady light, illuminating paths of understanding, deepening our empathy, and drawing us closer to the people and communities we are called to serve. Walk with us, guide us, and shape us, that in all we do, we may become instruments of your peace and faithful stewards of the trust given to us. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Thank you for that prayer, Rafa. So, before we dig in, para sa mga first time here, short intro lang about JVP. So, ano ba talaga ang JVP?
JVP.
So, the Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation, or JVPFI, engages in nation building by recruiting, training, and sending volunteers for a year of service to marginalized communities and areas with the greatest need. Jesuit volunteers empower these communities as teachers, formators, community organizers, or enterprise development officers assigned to under-resourced schools, parishes, and NGOs across the country. So, in short, JVP sends young professionals and graduates to different parts of the country to teach, serve, and build communities, usually for 1 or 2 years.
Right.
No?
So, that's just a description of JVP. Ngayon, we have an actual JVP with us who
Yes.
will live out, tell her story, and show us, what is the story of JVP. Now, I would like to introduce Ate Nainay Montilla. Please introduce yourself. Tell us your name, your batch, where were you assigned, what did you do, and what you're doing now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello, Rafa Jomar. So I'm Nainay. I am from batch 17 and I was assigned in Porac, Pampanga. The NGO that I worked for was the Social Development Index, and their advocacy was for women and and child health. So I ran kind of a daycare center / preschool. I was already a teacher then, and so nagtugma yung trabaho ko sa interest ko dahil I didn't go right after graduation. I had a year of work in a preschool and then I decided to go. Pero essentially parang I was trying to convince the Aita moms na iwan nyo na yung mga anak nyo dito. Ako na bahala sa kanila. Dahil pumunta pa sila sa Zambales, di ba? Doon yung trabaho nila. Parang, hindi, okay na tayo. Okay na. So parang ganun yung trabaho ko. So yung panahon na yon 1996 yon. So kakairap lang ng Mount Pinatubo, di ba?
Yeah.
So tumira kami, yung partner ko si Jenny Malaya, na ngayon lawyer na siya. Pareho kami, nandun kami, tumira kami sa isang resettlement area. So, yun yung parang buhay ko. Siya, community organizer siya. Ako, I ran nga parang mayroon akong maliit na daycare center preschool. Since Lahar, syempre yung main resource ko, it was like Lahar to table. Kasi Lahar this, Lahar that, Lahar everything. Kunyari, lahat ng artwork, may Lahar. Parang ganon. Parang use what you have, di ba? Sustainability. So, yun. Tapos, yun na nga. And then, syempre, yung daycare center, half day lang yun, di ba? Pero, it's really parang living there, getting to know the community. It was really, it was integration, right? As we know as volunteers. So that was where I was assigned.
Thank you, Ate Nainay. No, just to correct pala, no, I mentioned a while ago season 2. Season 3 na pala tayo.
Season 3 na.
Yeah, so
Advance.
very successful na itong
I'm
show
happy
na
to be
to.
here.
Yeah.
Third season. Wow.
Third season.
Nice.
Yeah. And for those listeners who are too young to remember, actually, kami ata ni Rafa di pa pinapanganak nito. So, can you paint a picture of what your area of assignment was when you arrived there?
Okay, so actually, ano kami? So sa Porac, Pampanga, as in, hindi nyo nga siguro alam to, yung pagsakay mo doon, yung bilang you'll enter Lahar country, na puro Lahar. As in, hindi mo na alam, nakakatawa pa, meron doon bridge na dadaanan. Yung tawag doon sa bridge, maybe. M-A-B-E-Y. Siguro it's after some person, pero para sa akin, parang, maybe you'll make it, maybe you won't. Kasi puro Lahar. So, cross mo yan, and then punta dun, yung resettlement area, nasa taas, nasa kataas-taas na, yung there was a 6-kilometer walk from where the tricycle could drop you, tapos lalakad ka. Kasi sa taas sila for safety, di ba? We were with parang the Aitas who live there. Tapos puro siya, resettlement area siya, so puro siya huts. Puro siya sawali huts. So nakisama kami ni Jenny doon. Yung NGO namin, nagpatayo ng isang hut, or parang na-assign kami sa isang hut doon. So yung nga, ibang-iba, Pampanga. Tapos yung tawag doon sa mismong area namin, Pasbol. Pasbol. Which in Aita is door. So parang it was even that was like parang it opened doors to opportunities, to a community, and it gave us a chance to serve. Kasi yun naman 'di ba talaga yung parang JVP to me, it's service. It's like paano tayo makakatulong? Anong magagawa ako? Parang ano yung contribution ko? So yun, doon ako dumating. Pero nga nung mga, and I really wanted, I was sure about JVP. But syempre, iba din yung pag-abot mo doon, parang, what is going on?
So, what do you mean by what is going on? Like, did you have any different expectations?
Walang tubig,
Yeah.
walang electricity.
Yeah.
Tapos actually, wala pa nga kaming banyo nung first kailangan mo. Pero nga, kasi it was a resettlement area, yun din yung mga initial paghihirap na malalaman naman natin. Ako, yung physical na paghirap, yun yung initial. Pero yung tunay na trial is, kaya mo ba to? You know, you're away from your family. Ano ba? Nakakatulong ba ako? Yung parang ganon, di ba? So, but yun na nga, buong taon na naghanap ng meaning-making in Pasbol, Porac, Pampanga.
So you mentioned na when you first, entered the area, puro Lahar. No? So you painted a picture for us, the scenario. Are there still fears or realities that were still very present in the community after the eruption? Did you ever feel that?
Well, nga siya So resettlement area siya. So parang they were all transitioning pa, 'di ba? Kasi nga parang still trying to recover from all that and then trying to find their way. I mean nga the ITAs, what they would do was parang they would go to Zambales to work, work there. Tapos babalik sila. Tapos parang syempre na-disrupt din yung buhay nila, So yun yung doon namin sila natagpuan. Yeah. So meron yung paghirap na ganoon para sa kanila.
What do they usually do? So they go to Zambales, but it's kind of far away, right?
Far, diba?
Far,
Pero kaya
yeah.
nila yun. Kailangan kong ikwento sa inyo. Yung isang kasama ko. Kasi walang tubig, no? So kailangan mo maligo at maglabas sa river. So parang pero kasi sila buhay din nila to, no? So papunta kami doon, may dala kang clothes, may dala kang damit. Tapos it was parang, of course, I hope I remember everything correctly. Pero pababa kami nung hill or parang gano'n. Tapos pinakita niya sa akin, ito lang, ganito lang. And yung Aita counterpart ko parang alam na niya, talang, ang galing niya kumapit nung feet niya. And I'm like, ano? Pero nagawa ko, hindi naman ako gumulong-gulong. Nakaabot din ako dun sa Subasa River. Pero parang nga, it was just their way of life. So, sanay naman sila yung sa pagtrabaho, yung they'll work the field to get food, parang gano'n. Pero yung NGO ko nga was more parang tulungan yung mga mommy. Kasi kung hindi, kakagayin nila yung, dinadala nila yung mga bata sa paglalakad nila hanggang Zambales. So, yun yung parang, I guess, parang tulong na binibigay namin. I mean, ako bilang part ng NGO na yun. Yeah.
So maybe let's talk about the Aita community, no? Maybe Jomar, you could ask about it.
What was your very first day? Natatandaan mo pa ba yung very first day mo na dumating ka sa community? Then sinalubong ka ng mga Aitas?
Oh my gosh. So, actually, so nga parang natatandaan ko na as much as I, treasure my experience and all, natatandaan ko na may isang araw na parang, patay. Parang, alis na ako. Parang ganon, no? Kasi nga parang bago siya, tapos yung sitwasyon. Pero, actually, yung pinaka-importante nga is yung nakilala mo yung mga, yung parang makilala ko yung mga Aita. Tapos, so meron silang sariling dialect. If I remember correctly, I think it's called Tag-Indi. My partner, Jenny, was parang ang galing niya malaman ng language. Pero ako, I remember na napaka-specific ng language nila to show you. Sabi nila sa akin, tinanong nila ako, sabi nila, si Buktot? Sabi nila. So sabi ko, I don't know why, pero nung tinanong nila yon, kasi I was trying to figure out, akala ko they were asking me for my age. So sabi nila, si Buktot, sabi ko, 22. Kasi I was 22 then. Pagtapos nun, tinatawag na, so tumawa sila, ha? Or natawa, parang like, ha? And then after that, yung nickname nila para sa akin, Indong 22. Indo means mom. Okay?
Oh.
So, Indong 22. So, akala ko, okay. Tapos, parang I'm walking down, saying, Indong 22. So, nalaman ko, yung Sibuktot, napaka-specific ng dialect nila. Sibuktot means, how many miscarriages have you had?
Oh.
And I answered 22. So, kawawa naman siya, 22. Kasi nga, yung buhay nila, di ba? Ano ba yung parang the hygiene, the wellness, di ba? Parang ganun lang. So, pero nga, you know how words create realities. And so, parang the language shows where you are. So, that was one of the first parang, their language is so specific. It shows their way of life. I had to understand that about them. They're parang, and even the hardship or like, why are we here? Now, how can we evolve? How can we make life better in what way we can? So that was one of the first things na parang yung language lang. And I did learn to speak some Aita din. And then, pero ano din sila, since yun, di ba, Pampanga, a lot of it was also parang from the life of mga US bases. Madaming Aita kids, mga pangalan nila Ketchup, Pentax, from American products. Oo.
Really?
Tapos, parang marunong din sila magkapangpangan. I mean, I'm lucky na yung pamilya ko medyo. Medyo. Pero, ang dami kong mga natutunan, even in Kapampangan, although yung siguro yung mga uncle ko mainis sa akin, hindi ko alam to begin with. Kasi yung isa sinabi sa akin, malago ka. Sabi ko, ano kayang malago sa akin na parang yung pala, it means you're beautiful.
ah.
Hello.
Malagok ka.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I think parang ganon. So, the language nga is parang one of the first ways to integrate.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
speak
Yes.
how they speak, parang to communicate. So, that was one of the first challenges na parang, okay, parang gets ko na, kind of.
Other than the language, no, do you have any culture shock moments? Kasi you mentioned kanina about tawag ito, mistranslation.
Mistranslation.
Oo.
With regards to your age, no? Pero
Oo.
along the line, meron bang, ay, ganito pala sila. Ito pala yung way of life nila. Or it's not how I expected it to be.
Actually, for me nga, parang, kasi diba, as a volunteer, there's the process of integration.
Yeah.
Yung parang, I tried, I'm sure I failed miserably, but I tried to, and I have many stories to prove that I failed. But anyway, para bang, yung integration mo is to dig deep nga into sino ba kayo. Hindi yung, I'm this person coming from Manila na, ganito nang gagawin natin, di ba? So parang, yun din yung, when you serve, parang, you bring yourself, pero how can where are you? I want to see where you are,
That's
who
a
you
good- yeah,
are.
that's a question to ask.
So, parang in that sense nga, alam ko na, I mean, just their culture, yung, even if yung nakita ko sa kanila, yung, sa kanila ko nakita yung nagluluto sila ng kanin inside a bamboo, in bamboo.
Yes, oo.
Oo, yung parang yun yung buhay nila, di ba?
Tapos
Parang-
kakain ka ba through...
Yeah, hindi, yun, ano sila, kanin yun eh. So, pero yung may bayawak, tapos they eat, di ba? Yun din, mga ganun na, they'll eat the eggs.
Natikman niyo po yun.
Yun, I believe so. I believe so, yeah. So, parang ganun din, yung makita mo nga, paano ba sila nabubuhay, di ba? Parang we had to, although nga, in fairness, nasa resettlement area kami. So, kasi nga, they were recovering from... So, lahat kami parang pare-pareho, di ba? Parang mga ganun. Tapos, mga iba-iba pang bagay na minsan iba parang culturally, I'm not sure if you could call this like a superstition or something. Yung parang, kasi minsan, bumagyo. Parang yung mga kasama ko, pag bumabagyo, hindi pwedeng maingay. Parang ganun, mga, quiet ba? Parang may mga ganun na belief, I guess, or something na I had to learn then. It's another way of
Kasi
life.
sa atin, pag mabagyo, wala.
Yeah. Sa kanila parang, well, kasi then, if you, I mean, as I said, walang tubig dun sa area, di ba? So,
Yes, oo.
we would catch rainwater for it to be our water then. So, siguro it was solemn. It was a solemn process or something like that. Na parang, kasi nga ako, sanay ako na hindi, di ba, yung scarcity nila, hindi ko scarcity. So, that's part of,
Yes.
ano ba yung buhay dito? Yung integration nga na, malaman ko na paano ba yun, ano yung mga pangangailangan, di ba, na sa akin, hindi, I had to parang realize, importante ito sa kanila. So, there were many moments like that. And parang the community, I had like a, I would say sidekick, pero parang BFF, si Joseph, at saka si, na parang sinasamahan niya ako sa lahat. Siya yung sasama sa akin nung naglalaba ako sa baba, sa river, sasama siya, yung tutulungan niya ako sa damit ko. Parang gano'n na it was really, it was so interesting to be a part of the community. And of course, ang daming pamilya, because nga, I deal with the parents, di ba? Na parang, I deal with them na parang I try to show them, iwan nyo na sa akin, ako na bahala. Tapos, minsan din yung kaiba, yung, di ba, parang, like any family, yung the way they parent, I was also exposed to na parang I was trying to find a way to communicate with them about that. So, yeah.
So talagang really na-integrate kayo sa area niyo. So talking about integration,
I think so.
I'm sure you are, no? But
Yeah.
let's talk about integration. No? How about your life before JVP?
Yeah.
So obviously
Yeah.
you tried your best to learn about the community, to learn about their culture and stuff, no?
Yeah.
Pero before JVP, you graduated here at the de Manila
I did.
University.
At ComDep, right there.
What were your plans before saying yes to JVP?
So, being in the two tracks that I was looking at, I actually looked at newscasting as one way, but I also, maybe in my third year, I became interested in teaching, and I really have to say that my degree, my background in communications has made me the teacher that I am today, because it is about communication. It's about sharing ideas. It's about uncovering thinking. So it's all that. So I knew that I wanted to volunteer. And usually nga, ang mga Jesuit volunteers right after you graduate, di ba? Pero sa akin, iba kasi, to be honest, hindi ako pinayagan ng tatay ko nung first year. Parang he's like, what's that? Parang, ano yan? He said no. Kailangan ng signature so hindi ako makapunta. Hindi ako makaalis, di ba? So parang a whole year passed and I was teaching in a preschool. And then after 1 year, that's when I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do everything, and I'm going to talk to my dad and tell him this is what I want to do. I just had that push for JVP.
Yeah.
I was so interested, and in a way, one of my mentors is actually my cousin whose preschool I first worked at, and parang she studied in the US. Tapos meron siyang shinare sa akin na picture working there with children, and parang although it's not a direct translation in that way. Yung parang when I saw her photo with those children in a diversity, of students in the US, parang naisip ko, parang sino ba yung gusto kong turuan? Ano ba yung population na gusto kong maging a part of? And so, in a way, yung JVP was that, na parang I wanted to find how to teach those children who most needed the education, who were, in a sense, were there, who were there and needed that kind of that help, in that sense. So parang yun yung feeling ko na, okay, I wanna try. So that's part of my motivation for JVP. Aside from nga that service, coming from parang, for me, I've always been wow, I can say so very patriot. Mahal ko. I can recite the Panatang Makabayan.
Wow.
Or maybe. Pero parang di ba, I'm so proud. I am so eternally hopeful for the Philippines.
Yeah.
Miski some people, to this day, di ba, meron mga, wala na tayong pag-asa, mga ganon.
Yes,
Parang I'm like, hindi eh. Ang buhay na buhay ang pag-asa eh. Dahil nandito tayo.
Was that yung motivation niyo to join JVP? How did you first find out about JVP?
I think it must have been from school. In that sense. Kasi nga of Ateneo. So, it was that. But I think, I guess I also grew up knowing that, I don't know, I have parang really knowing that this is my country, this is the country, we take care of our country, we have a duty to this, di ba, dito tayo nabuhay. In fact, pagtapos ng lahat, when I went to JVP, then I had a teaching job, then I went overseas to take my master's. I came home, and during my interview for my current job, tinanong ako ng superintendent, sabi niya, okay, so ito na yung buhay mo, dito ka nag-aral, tapos nag-aral ka din sa US, tapos may trabaho ka na, ba't ka bumalik? And to him, sabi ko, this is where I was born. This is my country. Dito ako magsaserbisyo. Dito ako parang dito ako pinaka-kailangan. And hopefully, diba, as we say in JVP, it is where your interests lie and where God's plan intersect.
Yes.
Diba? So, yun. Parang, this is my country and this is where I want to be part of the change or parang to take care. It is my duty to be here and to help out and not to say now you have to be in the Philippines because many Filipinos live overseas. The OFWs alone, right? Pero parang, for me, yun yung pinili ko na bakit? Kasi I believe in our country, and I know that, there's so much hope for us.
Yeah.
We are a wonderful people.
Wait, I have a question. A very interesting question. Kasi, saan to nang gagaling hugot mo, Ate Nay, na very patriotic, very nationalistic, no? There has to be something there.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, other than JVP, no? You want to know more?
Honestly, the funny thing is I could attribute this to my mom. Even if, my mom was like a free spirit, pero as a parent, yung parang from such a young age, in a way, mulat na mulat ako sa bansa because she would always talk about Ninoy Aquino, who is the brother of my grandfather. So he's my grunkle. That way, diba? Parang yung mom ko, and I was too young. Nag-excel na si Lolo Ninoy, hindi ko siya nakilala, hindi ko siya, tapos bago pa siya na-excel, kulong siya, diba, for 7 years and 7 months. So wala akong pagkakataon na makilala siya. Pero yung mom ko, parati kaming kinakausap tungkol sa kanya. In fact, nakakatawa recently lang, nung EDSA 40th, di ba? Yes! Sabi ko sa mga kapatid ko, sino sa inyo pumunta ng Club Filipino nung inauguration? Kasi may memory ako na nag-yellow pants ako, tapos meron pa akong punk boots. Naks, punk. Tapos, parang yung mga kapatid ko, sabi nila, Ate Nay, we didn't go with. I go, oh my gosh, ako lang yung pumunta sa Club Filipino na sumama sa mom ko. Kasi mom ko aktivista din. Na parang, siguro doon ko nakuha sa kanya. And parang nga, buong buhay niya akong kinakausap. Especially talking about Lolo Ninoy na in fact, she would even say, he will be the next president of the Philippines. This was what? 70s, diba?
The 70s.
Pero, parang, I guess, dun ko din that's where I attribute my nationalism in a way. Because nga, parang imagine mo na yung peg ko si Lolo Ninoy for love of country, for service. Parang yung talagang public service, diba? And nga, contribution to the country. I mean, even, and it goes, even with Lola Cory, even with Pinoy, and even with now Senator Bam, diba? Parang it's always been giving back, or service nga. So, for me, now that you're, parang you're making me realize, yung service. Service, and how I found that was in me, and how JVP was that opportunity to live that out.
How did this, how is being an Aquino translate to you being a JVP? Paano siya naka-apekto sa pagiging volunteer mo, serving the community? And how are you parang living out the values of JVP knowing your family background? Kasi syempre, iba yung pinanggagalingan mo eh. Meron ka ng strong foundation, and then you mix it up with JVP core values. No?
Yeah.
Diba? Ang ganda yung mixture niya.
No, I mean, that's why nga I think in a way, that's how I grew up. Diba, na yung example ni Lolo Ninoy. Tapos, parang being a Filipino and knowing nga parang it's duty. It's duty for the country. And parang nga it was almost like JVP was like this opportunity to live that out even more.
Yeah.
Diba? Na parang concrete opportunity for me na, okay, how do I do this? But this volunteerism, diba? Because at the heart of it is that, I'll do it. I'm there. I'll show up. But it's a volunteerism. It's like, ay, tulong tayo.
Exactly.
Tingnan natin. And, parang gano'n na it's really innate in me. So it was, for me, it might even be what really was the intrinsic motivation. I mean, I say, parang I didn't have any grand plans. Hindi naman ako like, yes, this is, not at all, no? Pero parang, kung pag-isipan ko lang nga yung mga influences ko sa buhay, di ba? Parang, siguro yun ang pinanggalingan ng motivation ko then for JVP, yung service nga, di ba? And nga, like you say, parang it's really public service. And it's a duty to nation building, which comes from everybody, di ba? Hindi siya, nobody cornered that. I mean, that's what, I remember Senator Bam, when Pinoy passed away in 2021, syempre ang daming nagtatanong, who's gonna run? Parang ganun. And parang hindi yun, that wasn't the point na, and as always, Senator Bam said it so eloquently na, hindi nakasalalay sa isang pamilya ang kasaysayan ng Pilipinas.
Yes.
Hindi. And even Lolo Ninoy said that it's not up to one person, it's up to all of us. And I kind of like, in that sense, I heard this, sorry to cite Obama, pero siya yung nagsabi na, we are who we've been waiting for.
Exactly.
Yes.
Diba? So, kaya nga, yun yung puso ng JVP. Tayo. It's up to us. We have the agency to do it. And do what you can. Diba? So, importante.
It's like you have your own personal mission. I like what Jomar mentioned kanina. No? You have your own context. No? You have your own family background.
Yeah.
But you also have your own personal mission, which is concretized through JVP.
Yes.
Now, you did mention, no? You said it was more than a mission; it was a transformation. And Jomar will ask, no? What do you mean by that?
Yeah. It is a transformation. What changed after JVP? What's Ate Nainay before JVP? Or given the context na very solid na yung yung pagiging nationalistic mo. And then after JVP.
Oo. Parang For me, in a way, I mean, and I appreciate that question because you're allowing me to think about it. I'm not sure I've ever really reflected on this, but JVP in a way solidified my belief that we are who we've been waiting for. It's up to us.
Yeah.
Let's parang to contribute, to volunteer, to be there, to make that change, for it to matter.
Yeah.
Parang it's duty. It's kailangan, parang importante to. In fact, another person I like to quote, I think it was Father Feryoso Filoy, di ba? Na
Father
ang
Feryoso.
tanong, hindi kung mahirap ba, ang tanong, mahalaga ba?
Mahalaga ba?
Di ba?
Exactly.
Parang, kung may pero kailangan ba? Mahalaga ba? Di ba? And that, I guess, that is, again, that message of JVP to me, na parang, we do the work. We help out. And at the same time, you know what it is? It's a community.
Yes.
It's a community. And that's why to this day, my batchmates and I, you know, we're in touch. And I consider them to be my closest friends. When we get together, it's a lot of laughter. Minsan may iyakan din.
Yeah.
We happen to have Father Mark. Well, one of our batchmates is a priest now. So we're swerte na when we get together may misa. And parang, in terms of the community, diba? The other very, because you're asking about the transformation, is of course just that the faith, you know, for JVP. Na parang the solemnity of the Mass is ever so clear to me. It's
Yes.
abundant to me that it is a grace. It is in itself a transformation, 'di ba? Na parang each time. And ako, I'm sorry to, there are times even during JVP na umiiyak lang ako pag mimisa kasi feel ko parang salamat.
I could relate.
Yes,
Di ba? And with our songs lang, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang it's so solemn and that's why even now sometimes when I'm at Mass, I've actually had this experience na, but this one of us was tied to when my father passed away. I was at Mass, you know, and I was crying. So much so, kasi naiintindihan ko and ramdam ko yung what the importance is, that some people had to come to me and say, are you okay? And I'm like, misa. Parang, this is what I am so touched by Mass. And that's why then, again, you know, our theme is continuing. This is also why I volunteered. I was one of Father Tito Kaluwag's, I call it OG Zoom Christan. Kasi ako yung in charge ng Zoom niya. Ako yung tech. I ran the show. I produced the content, all the Canva, #Canva. Parang mga ganun na kailangan. Yeah, di ba? Parang kailangan na. And it was, with Father Tito, he created a community and it was to share the devotion to Mass. So parang yun din, parang common, di ba? Common thread na with that Mass, the importance of Mass, the faith, the community building, and again, being present to each other in every way possible. Yeah.
So, let's go back to your JVP story. You mentioned, it was a transformation, no? And you were transformed in many ways, as you have shared with us today. Now, let's connect it to the Aitas. How did living with the Aitas reshape your understanding of faith?
That's, I mean, oh my gosh, ang daming kwentong pumapasok sa mind ko.
Okay, let's do it one by one.
I know.
What are the
Kasi,
kwentos?
syempre, hindi naman, di ba? Ako din, paano ba natin? I think that's also a relevant question. Kasi how do you share, because I'm Catholic, and they're not, but faith, di ba?
But faith, yeah.
But faith. So yung paniniwala na pwedeng, parang, just paniniwala, I guess, and parang with them, then I had one, okay, this is, parang, in a way, one of the things, kasi nga yung isang sidekick ko, si Joseph, because the Aitas, another reason that I was, parang, my mission there was, the rate of illiteracy was high, no?
Yes.
So parang, they were saying, as usual, parang the phrase, then, no, I'm sure, iba na yung no read, no write, parang ganon. Tapos, excuse me, yung parang tinuruan sila na one name to put in the ballot. Parang ganong klaseng existence,
that,
di ba? Oo.
like in politics, in elections?
Kasi nga, they're still a popular, parang yun yung, parang ganon. And parang to share, parang for me to share that faith is, I guess, it's a living faith that I was there. Na parang I could share them na I believe in you. Kasi faith is parang, I believe in something and I'm here. So in that sense, parang ganon. But for me, yung pinaka na-share nila sa akin is yung lifestyle nila.
Yeah.
Diba? Na parang, and nga, ako din, JVP, sometimes people might romanticize it na, oh, it's hard, it's
Yes.
it's everyday, dude. Parang,
Actually, oo.
for reals.
Oo.
Yeah.
Ano yun
It's
lang yun?
everyday life,
Everyday
yeah.
life yun. Kung mahirap, kung diba? Pero parang we do not measure it by how hard it is nga, but mahalaga ba?
Yes.
And mahalaga ang experience, mahalaga yung community. So parang, I don't know, I can say I had so much fun, na parang, but I also learned there's a lot of introspection, na parang dami kong nabasang libro.
Oh.
Parang kasi I had time for myself and then nga to learn about them, 'di ba? Parang their life and their experiences and all that. So it was really, I guess, when you share, how did we share the faith? How did they show that to me? By sharing their own beliefs through their life, through their lifestyle, through everything to how they live their lives.
So what are their own beliefs that reshaped your own understanding of faith?
I guess parang that's what to me nga na parang it was just like it's everyday.
Everyday life,
parang
yeah,
it's,
the
it's daily
simplicity,
life, the
yeah.
simplicity.
The
Oh, yeah,
simplicity,
'di ba? Na parang ganito yung buhay dito.
Yeah.
Na walang no drama, it's what we do, 'di ba? Parang it was like this it's what we do. Parang ito na, okay, next day, 'di ba? Kasi minsan parang oh no, parang hindi naman kailangan.
Kasi compared sa life dito sa Manila, it's quite different, right?
Oh, it was hard.
Yeah.
Diba? If you were, kaya nga, like I said, yung physical hardship was the initial part of it, diba? Na kasi nga walang tubig, walang electricity. Yung pagpunta namin, lahat ng pagkain ko, sabi ko na nga yung canned goods. Diba that tuna asado, tuna Bicol Express,
Oo.
lahat canned tuna. Kasi
Lahat ng
walang-
flavor, yeah.
Mga ganun lang. Tapos parang simple lang. Or kami ni Jenny, bababa kami, that 6-kilometer walk para pumunta sa palengke to buy food. Tapos for a week lang kasi nga walang, di ba,
Walang budget.
Oo,
Yeah.
oo, di ba, walang refrigerator. So,
Okay,
parang
yes.
ganon. Tapos walang tubig. Parang ganon. Pero nga, it's just parang to learn that life. Lahat naman sila ganun mabuhay. Di ba?
Yes,
Parang
so-
sino ba ako? Parang so, natutunan din namin yun. And they were always so, I have such, parang to me, yung memory ko ng JVP, hindi paghihirap.
Really?
Oo.
How do you say that?
Yeah,
Why?
parang hindi, maybe may mga araw na mahirap, pero yung hindi paghihirap yung pagkaintindi ko sa buhay ko doon. And I attribute that to the community. Na parang, yun na nga yung napaka everyday life, gawin natin to. So nga, ang dami ko actually yung mga anecdotes dyan na parang, ay nako,
Yeah.
and it was like you say, ako I was there to help them, but I may have grown far more. No, dahil parang
Really?
ako yung na-transform in that way, na parang to know, to get to know them and to understand how to live.
Was there a moment when you realized, kasi you mentioned parang you were there to help them initially, right? But what was the moment when you realized, I am not just here to help, I'm here to learn?
Oh, I'm an educator at heart. So that's always been that's one of my beliefs, that even as a teacher, I'm there to learn. We're all learners.
Yes.
We are all learners. Some of us
Yes.
have, parang it's, and that I already, parang, I knew that about going there. Now it's this experience where I immerse myself and I figured out, I make the mistakes, and I try to see life through their lens,
Yeah.
'di ba? So parang that's why I always cite yung daily life nila, kasi nakakatawa yung sidekick ko. Parang they were so welcoming. Tapos isipin mo din yung buhay ng mga mommy na yung sinusubukan naming tulungan na hindi, pwede namang iwan niyo yung anak niyo dito. Parang yun din, mindset change din yun 'di ba? Na parang maniwala ka sa akin, aalagaan ko anak mo. Habang 'di ba?
Oo.
Parang sanay sila na kayang-kaya naman physically, 'di ba? Tapos in terms of their practice, gano'n naman yung buhay nila. So, parang it was a chance to almost like introduce an idea, a way that could be, parang for their own good din. Na parang gano'n na, minsan gano'n, di ba? Sometimes you need a person, you need someone outside of yourself to show you an idea or an innovation in that way. Na parang so, to be open to that also, no? Na parang we try to share that with them. But it was really it's for me my greatest learnings would come from the everyday life that they showed
Everyday
me.
life, the simplicity.
Yeah, the simplicity
Yeah.
of it, na parang, and their generosity, na parang, sino ba ako na this person, na kung saan nanggaling na, I mean, if you think about it, actually, you guys are also not, you were not yet born when
Yes.
this teleserye was super popular. You can look it up, you can Google it, Marimar.
We know Marimar.
Do you know
We
Marimar?
Oh, we know Marimar.
They called me Marimar.
Really?
Eh kasi I look so ibang-iba na long, my hair was so long, tapos ibang-iba. Yung iba yung itsura ko na parang feeling ko na sila parang sino to? Ano tong pinadala niyo? Parang
Meron
ganon.
din ba kayong pulgoso?
Grabe.
Wala. But I know. Wala. Sila ang aking pulgosa. sila ang aking ka-love story. Pero ganon, yung parang for them, so, for them to know Marimar, shows you din, yung hindi, di ba, hindi din romanticize na wala silang alam. Hindi eh. Nandun sila sa di ba, sa Pampanga. Alam nila. Tapos parang sila mismo yung they, aside from after Indong 22, I was Marimar. Nag-evolve din ako sa mga pagkakilala nila sa akin.
It's better.
I think it's a little better. Parang ganon. So, yun na nga. So, sila din. Parang I can say na it was a relationship. Di ba? Na importante. Parang ganon na. It was when I got to know. And so nga, when I sing Joseph who was with me, parang it was like so interesting to have that person close to me na to help me out in the daycare and the preschool, parang ganon. Tapos nga, just to have seen that daily life.
Yeah.
That for me, that's the biggest, in a way, transformation na parang,
Exactly.
here they are, they're living their lives, you know, and they're,
So,
yeah.
so it's safe to say that your experience JVP mission year has really transformed you, no? So, let's talk about what happened afterwards, you know, the trajectory
Yeah.
after JVP. Jomar, you take it.
Yeah. So in what ways did 1 year experience influence your career, your relationships, your life decisions? We're talking about after JVP na eh. So were you able to carry the learnings you had during JVP to say your career, to your relationship as a wife, as a mother,
Yeah.
suppose?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, again, that at the heart of JVP is that volunteerism, right? Na I'll do it. Let me help. You know, parang I want to help. I'm gonna go. So, like I said, even and this one, I know that I actually thought about this. I realized this when I was helping Father Tito Kaluwag. Na, kasi we were a group of volunteers, you know, tawag nga sa amin Zoom Cristans.
Yeah.
Originally, dalawa kami. Tapos naging madami. Na parang ideas, parang JVP lang to. Parang ganun. So parang in a way, to answer your question, naging framework ko JVP. Naging lens, yung buhay ko through the lens of JVP na when I find myself volunteering, JVP, parang JVP lang to. Diba?
Yeah,
So parang in a way, kung si Lolo Nino yung peg ko for nationalism, JVP was my peg for parang that volunteerism. Na parang, parang JVP to na naghahanap ka, nagsumusubok kang mag-integrate, you do your best to, kamusta ba tong community na to? Paano ako makakatulong? Diba? And again, ang tanong hindi kung mahirap o madali, pero mahalaga ba?
Mahalaga.
Kailangan bang
Yeah.
mangyari to, 'di ba? Parang Sister Stella L lang 'yan. Alam mo ba 'yon?
Yes, Vilma Santos.
'Di ba? Kung hindi tayo, sino? Kung hindi ngayon, kailan? There's an urgency.
Yeah. Discuss naman natin yung nagtatak na quote from Ate Nainay.
Yes.
Talagang
Ito,
very
we
to
love
sa
this,
JVP.
eh.
So the contract is for a year, but the commitment is forever. So can you explain to us saan galing tong hugot na to?
Nanggaling sa puso.
Oh,
No!
nice.
No, but it's real. Ako naman, talagang sinabi ko yan nung may bumisita sa akin sa Porac para ma-interview. And nga, kasi I'm really parang napaka-totoo ng JVP for me eh. Diba? At saka gusto ko talaga siya. Katulad nga ng sinabi ko, yung unang taon hindi ako quote-unquote pinayagan. Yung second time na pagsubok ko, pinayagan ko sarili ko. Diba?
Ako na mag-sign.
Ako na.
Mag-sign para
Parang
sa sarili ko.
mas lumakas yung loob ko na gagawin ko to. Ito na. And it was because nga gusto ko malaman yung community, parang to reach out, no? So parang nga, it really is true na, because you guys are volunteers also, diba? We do sign a contract with
Yes,
some rules here and there. Kasi nga, for a while, diba, they were saying na JVP is like a glorified placement office.
Somehow.
In a way.
In a
Pero
way, oo.
you are placed nga with you are placed where there is need.
Yes.
That's the mission, diba?
Yes.
Because it's volunteerism, diba? And so nga, that's still true. Yun naman, that didn't wane for me. Hindi natapos yon. Yung pagka-volunteer ko, yung parating gustong tumulong, parating naghahanap ng, kailangan, parang yung, just that service, again, rooted in service. You know, while my service is not public, but it's service.
It is. It's
And
just
education.
nonetheless, oo.
Yeah, and education, my career now, is a service. You know, parang so, miski yung trabaho ko, nanggaling sa lens nung JVP, di ba? Na parang, it's about that na service. So, anong kailangan, what needs to be done, paano makakatulong, ano yung innovation, di ba? Parang ano yung magagawa natin. Yeah. So, it still rings true to this day. And like I said, even after JVP, helping communities, being an educator, helping that community, which is like my direct community to help in helping out. Being Father Tito's Zoom Kristan in a time of the pandemic, when we could only come together online, it really served as that, like as a space for everyone to come together. And even now, as I said, like recently I joined the campaign of Senator Bam, and even yun, and parang because we know that it's service to the country also. So parang ganun. So nga JVP is kind of like alive and kicking in my heart.
Yeah.
Talagang commitment is forever. And yung commitment din, hindi yung, again, walang drama.
Yes,
But
oo.
it's in the day-to-day. Diba? Parang ano ba yung magagawa mo? Parang nandun ka, 'di ba? And so it's sometimes it's as simple as like with Blast, kung may kailangan yung parang concretely with JVP, kung may kailangan yung JVP, 'di ba? Minsan may kailangan sunduin. Oh, mag-arrange tayo ng kotse
Pero
or
ba, ganun.
'di ba? Parang ganun lang kasi we want to keep JVP alive kasi it is the volunteerism, 'di ba? So parang things like that in any way that we can to be present and to continue the community work.
So, before we end, syempre, no?
Naubos na naman yung oras natin.
Ang grabe ang kwentuhan natin. We really
Hindi namin
enjoy.
namalayan yung oras eh.
But we do have some closing questions. Pero
Yeah.
for this portion, we wanted to keep it light and
Oo.
keep it short lang, no? Short and sweet lang.
Parang
Yeah.
rapid fire.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Wait, and so what? I just answer.
Yeah, just answer, quickly whatever pops up in your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, first question. What's one funny or embarrassing story from your mission year that you can now laugh about?
Okay. Pero one word, hindi naman,
Hindi
short
naman one
story.
word.
Shorts lang.
So, ito na naman ako, trying to be, kasi nga the whole time you're just trying to integrate, diba? So, tinatry ko, habang nandun ako, dahil madami akong oras, I was trying to also keep myself healthy. So, naghahanap ako ng parang weights, diba? So, sabi ko kay Joseph, my volunteers, I was trying to be like, yung mga minsan in-overthink ko na wala nga drama, sabi ko, alam mo, kailangan ko gumawa nung bagay na mabigat para makapag-exercise. This is like after work na, sabi ko, ano kaya yun? Hanap tayo yung parang maggawa kong ganito. Sabi sa akin ni Joseph, yung bahong barbell. Parang niya. There I was trying to be like, no, let me describe it. Let me, be, yung pala. Parang
We would
minsan
imagine they
in-overthink
would
ko.
not know
I know,
about-
na
Yeah.
parang I was slightly ignorant. Diba? Parang, pero parang I was like, no, kailangan ko explain. But actually, yun na nga, it's so simple. Walang drama dito. Day-to-day life. So that was a little bit like, okay.
Barbell?
Okay.
Oh,
Simple.
diba?
Captain Barbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question naman. What's a small, ordinary moment? So maybe over a shared meal, a simple conversation na hindi mo talaga makalimutan even to this day.
During my year, no?
Yes,
And so
oo.
parang ito, nako. My gosh. So and it's not, again, for me, I share this, na parang it's not so much, it's a moment na I realized, to always be considerate, to always think of the other. Kasi nga, I think the whole experience was like putting yourself out there and learning. So, this is a simple one na it's my partner, si Jenny. Oh my gosh. Di ba, nakatira kami sa isang sawali hut lang. Na as in, may isang umaga, may lindol. Okay.
Oh, wow,
May lindol. Kasi we're up high. Minsan nga, so, may lindol siya. Tapos, as in, umuugog yung sawali hut namin. So, nagising ako, sabi ko, the day before, may kalabaw na nagro-roam dun sa, kasi may mga kalabaw, di ba, nandun kami sa mountain. So, sabi ko, ang tawag nila damulag. Sabi ko, Jenny, may damulag, ang vision ko, binabangga yung sawalihat natin. So, feeling ko parang, naku, yung damulag. Si Jenny, sabi niya, lindol lang yan, lindol. And then parang, I realized, oh my gosh, like, that's like, and Jenny, who's from Baguio na, she has Lindo, parang she's experienced
that.
parang, and she was the one pa who was calm, parang like, ano ba naman, I was so inconsiderate, parang, and that's a moment again for me, I think that's an important moment because I also got to know my partner, and that's important, parang nakita ko na, parang like, oh my gosh, Jenny, I'm so sorry na, pero siya pa yung nag-calm sa akin na, Lindo lang yan, Lindo, parang ganon. Yeah, so I think parang, yun na nga, parang that was a moment, to always, to think of the other, to have, parang, and to get to know where they are, to see them where they're at. Yeah.
I love that. So, now that Mark's dead, I'm so sorry to our viewers. No, I'm so sorry, Ate Nainay.
I mean, there's still chances naman.
Oo.
It's either you rewatch this,
You
you watch other episodes, or
May invite ulit siya.
or you join JVP.
You join JVP.
To make your own
Yes.
stories naman,
Exactly.
diba?
Yes.
So, speaking about JVP, no, do you have any other last remarks before we conclude? Perhaps to our listeners, potential JVPs, no? Maybe in one sentence or two, we'd like to say to them.
Parang,
Here's the camera. Baka gusto ko
for me, para sa akin, parang JVP nga, di ba, it's service. It's service. It's how, parang it's in a way, it's what's inside of you, na answer, parang heed that call when you kind of listen to it. And it's parang, it's 1 year nga of your life na parang you maghahanap ka ng, parang you're making meaning, you're making connections to a community. It is such a meaningful experience. It's transformative, as you've said, diba? Parang it's a transformative experience that helps you connect, helps you help out, helps you as a person. You become richer because of JVP, and it's something that's important, especially today. Yung parang kasi nga it's forever, hindi yung year of service, pero yung forever kang nagiging, parang forever yung pagkamulat, na alam mo, nakikita mo kung saan ang pangangailangan, handa kang tumulong. Kaya tulad nga parang we are who we have been waiting for, diba?
Wow, we are who have been.
Kilabot naman nun,
So thank you,
Yeah,
Ate
thank you very
Nainay,
much.
for your wisdom, for all of everything you've shared today. As we come to the end of this episode,
May gusto ka ba muna i-shoutout?
Yeah, may gusto ko i-shout.
May nagpapa-shoutout sa akin, no? Yung mga viewers po natin dyan from Ateneo de Naga College of Law, yung mga fellow alumni ko na lawyers
Hello.
right now. So thank you very much for supporting me and supporting the show. We also thank our other viewers, no? And for those people who might be interested, no, join JVP. Can we show na po yung poster natin? So, ayan. So, for everyone who's interested, so this poster shows we are showing right here shows the qualifications, no? So, you can be up to 40 years old, you are a Filipino citizen, no? You are either a graduating student, a college graduate, or a young professional, physically fit and emotionally balanced, willing to serve for at least 1 year, and determined to make a positive difference in the lives of others. And of course, there has to be a sincere desire to serve where there is greater need. So,
let's look at the
scan nyo
next
lang
slide,
yung QR if you are so interested, no?
There. So, through the volunteer service program, you guys just need this to prepare for your application sa JVP. A completed application form, of course, your essay, Ate Nainay, baka may naalala kayo sa mga nasubmit nyo dyan.
How much time have you got?
Signed parental information slip, very crucial. Consent from your parents. Completed skills assessment form, 3 accomplished reference form, your CV, a copy of your graduation transcript, and a recent 1x1 photo. And just because gusto lang din ma-shoutout ng mga kapatid ko, shoutout na rin to Kuya Rainier and Robin.
And my own shout out is of course to my batchmates, to batch 17 na sama-sama namin
They're listening right
tinahak. 'Di ba? Na parang alam namin kung, like, it's interesting yung nakalagay dyan. Parang everything that I was describing, it was in the poster. I didn't know that. Diba na parang it's meeting a need. And to my batchmates, remembering Rosing Cabrera, who was our formator.
Nanay Rosing.
Yes, and then Tia Quintos, who also helped. Oman, who was the ED then. And of course, Blas, who's the
Oman
ED
Yao,
now. Oman Yao, who led us and took care of us. And then, to Blas, who continues the fight, you know.
Exactly.
And I'm parang to all those who are interested. Oh my, kung I'm here to talk, to share more. If you know, to encourage you to take it on, take this challenge of being a volunteer.
Okay. So as we come to the end of this episode, thank you, Ate Naina. We are reminded that service is never just about a task, a timeline, or a title. It is about relationships.
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
about walking with communities, especially in moments of uncertainty, and choosing to stay present even after the spotlight fades.
So to our listeners, maybe you're not being called to live in a faraway community for a year, but perhaps you are being invited to commit to your parish, your barangay, your campus,
Yes.
your workplace, or simply to someone who needs an accompaniment, no? Service does not always require distance. Sometimes it simply requires depth.
If there's one thing we carry from today, it's this. Mission may have end dates, but love does not. Sabi nga ni Ate Nainay, the contract may be for a year, but the commitment can shape a lifetime. So thank you to our dear guest for sharing not just memories, but a heart that continues to say yes. You may enter for a season, but you just might discover a forever.
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, no, JVP is now on its 46th year. So if you are a young professional, a recent grad, baka ikaw na ang next volunteer for batch 47. So our applications are open for anyone who is interested in becoming the next set of volunteers. You may visit us on our website at jvp.org as shown kanina dun sa ating poster. You may follow us on FB, IG, or even visit us at MVP building here in Ateneo de Manila University. Don't hesitate to contact us to assist you in your application journey. Alternatively, you may also support JVP missions. Your help goes a long way.
And for our fellow JVPs, congratulations to the JVP Manila local community for a successful project last weekend, the garage sale that was more than a garage sale.
Yeah.
And of course, the Out to Sea Refill Revolution, where we encourage everyone to shift to a sustainable lifestyle by bringing back to basics eco-store and refillery to Varsity Hills.
Salamat din sa buong SKL team and big thanks to the hardworking team here at Radyo Katipunan, especially to Justin and Jojo.
Kuya Justin, Kuya
Thank
Jojo.
you.
Kuya Justin, Kuya Jojo. Thank you very much.
This has been Rafa.
And this is Jomar.
Here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Share ko lang with the Jesuit volunteers. Nagpapala na.
Basta good news, share ko lang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Ate Nainay, for your time today.
Pagod ka na ba sa mga chismis? Fake news? Bad news? Good news naman! Isishare namin sa inyo ang good news. Samahan ang Jesuit Volunteers Philippines na maghatid sa inyo ng mga balita at kwentong totoo at may puso. Makinig sa mga istorya ng pagtutulungan, pagkakawang gawa, mga kwentong Serbisyong Kusang Loob. KSKL. Share ko lang, Huwebes, alas 5 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Share ko lang.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down